Saturday, 14th of June 2025. The time is 9:30 in the AM, Mountain Standard. It's an absolutely gorgeous day, and I'm wondering why I'm not outside. Well, I'm just about to step out. A few thoughts in my head start with Albert Camus. His last known work, titled The First Man, was published posthumously 25 years later. That is an interesting story on its own, but the book itself, it's a collection of theories, stories. It's a recreation. His dad is born once again, and then his short life is played out. But within the story, we get a sense of what kind of guy his father was. So when Camus had grown up, had become a young adult, was working, I suppose, his mother's had a few conversations with him about his father. She has told him that they keep records. Soldiers killed in action, where the remains are, and you should go and visit, pay your respects. And he would always brush it off, saying to his mom, "What difference does it make? I hardly know the guy." But years after his mom passes away, he goes in search of his father. Today, we're in search of all the fathers. Fathers of my friends, my father too. Let me ask you, have you heard middle-aged men talk about their fathers? I can think of an example. It's an extract from this piece of classical literature, Thomas Mann's The Magic Mountain. There's this character, an Italian. He calls himself a humanist. A brilliant fella. He can make an argument on pretty much any topic. Used good judgment, and by the end of it, you might just walk away saying, "I learned something today." He's that kind of guy. One day, while he's engaged in conversation, for some reason they talk about fathers, and then he tells a story about his father. They were from rural Italy, somewhere, where the winters get cold. Their home was a log cabin. And because his father was a well-known figure, they'd have visitors coming from all over Europe, pay their respects. Now, this is a memory from when his father had gotten a bit more older. One of his expectations was this home would have this consistent temperature, warmth, maintained, let's say around 18 degrees Celsius. He has recollections of how his father would be, on the recliner. His legs, feet, toes covered with a blanket. And if the temperature falls below a certain threshold in his head, I'd say 14 or 15, you'd notice it. And he remembers this expression on his father's face of great disappointment, sadness, helplessness. And there'd be a stream of tears flowing down his cheeks. Soon somebody would notice and tend to the fire, replenish the wood. What he's telling us, of course, is that his father was that kind of guy. He wouldn't complain. Tomorrow's Father's Day, and I search with you for all the fathers who have departed. My father, the fathers of my friends. A happy Father's Day to you all. I get sad sometimes thinking of how quickly he had left. I was in my mid-20s by then. This sudden, unexpected absence. I think of some of my close friends, two of them who've lost their fathers in their adolescence. The crater, the void that it leaves in your heart. And here we have Camus, hardly a year old, doesn't even know. But you grow up with his absence and all the things that come with it. You get used to it. My father was like that. He never complained. The love I have experienced from him, unable to put it into words. A memory, probably, when I was 9 years old, walking hand in hand, just the two of us. He was telling me stories. I don't remember what. I remember how I felt, though, in his company. This song from the Grateful Dead somewhat rekindles that spirit, that sentiment. I've changed it a bit. Little boy lost in a forest of dreams. It's a dark old wood and it's damp with dew. Hoot owl hoots, for a moment it seems. Something big and cold has got a hold of you. Just when everything gets scary, Daddy's coming round for his darling again. Hold my hand with your little fingers. Daddy's loving arms are gonna gather you in. Ain't no way the boogeyman can get you. You can close your eyes, the world is gonna let you.